keep on your P's and Q's. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to the Dollar Hour. I am Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself.
That's right.
Tonight's show, we're talking about how does a federal rate increase affect you. You guys, if you haven't been in a cave and you've been a part of the economy, which I think all of us are, on yesterday, Wednesday, December the 14th, the Federal Reserve increased the Fed rate by another half percentage point. And what we're going to talk about tonight is exactly, what the Federal Reserve is, the purpose of raising the Federal Reserve rate, how it impacts you, and what to be looking at going forward. But again, I am Deonte Burden, aka Mr. Short Dollar himself. Again, you are at the Dollar Hour. Mr. Short Dollar, we talk about personal finance, business, entrepreneurship, and investing. Before we get started, I want to say what's up to my awesome producer, DJ Lab.
What's going on, brother? It's Thursday.
Absolutely.
Here we are.
Absolutely. Best day of the week, my
That's
brother.
Right. Best day of the week.
Best
Doing our thing.
Yeah. I want to say also what's up to my other producer, Slick 316. What's up, Reek?
Always in the building.
Yeah. Man, just rehashing previous week. Everything went pretty cool.
Okay.
We still grinding, get ready for tax season.
Are you ready for it? Ready for it?
Nah. I'll be ready for it by the middle of January.
Oh, okay.
Nah, we ain't ready.
You think you're gonna be busy this year?
Yeah, we're gonna be busy. We're gonna be busy. It's my hands been itching, so we're gonna make a little money.
Oh, okay. hey, that's always good.
I'm Mr. Short Dollar, not Mr. No Dollar.
That's always good. Look, itching hand.
Yeah, don't get it twisted.
They say don't scratch it. They say rub it.
Hey, man. So now I think everything's gonna be cool. We just been in the middle of hiring and training. I'm about to say firing, but hiring and training tax preparers and stuff. And guys, if you are interested in becoming a tax preparer, all you gotta do is you can go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube and you can find our email address, info@majesticbiz.com. I'll get the contact information later. So we are in the middle of still training tax preparers. So if you are interested in becoming a tax preparer this upcoming this tax season, just reach out to me. And also, we just finally finished switching the course over to Contra.
Okay.
So we're going to go live this weekend. I'm going to have a live feed tomorrow. Just let everybody know, kind of what I have a sense of urgency on with doing everything. So I'm super excited about that. So we're just gonna do a late push through the end of the year.
Okay.
And then push it hard, through the summer.
So
I'm glad we got the platform changed up and everything. So
okay. I know that when tax season comes, you always be so busy that you get set back behind. So I want you to keep pushing forward.
Oh yeah. Well, hell, the past one I was going through a damn divorce. I ain't got that bullshit. Oh my head. I was doing taxes and getting taxed.
Right. But you still was busy.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
wanna
Absolutely. I appreciate that, brother. I appreciate it.
Keep pushing through it.
Right now.
Say hi to mama.
What's up, Mom? What's going on? Appreciate you tuning in. Right now, we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter. The main hub is the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel, where we have over 600 videos on the YouTube channel. Please make sure you go there. That's the main hub. That's where all the videos are there. We even got a grant playlist with over 150 grant opportunities. Matter of fact, we just released two new grant opportunities. One for startups, and the other one is for startup entrepreneurs, and the other one for young entrepreneurs, people that's in high school and even in college. Two different grant opportunities. I think both of them $2,500, and they go through the end of the year. So if you are an aspiring entrepreneur and you want to start your business up, go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. There's a $2,500 grant for that. Or if you have a young person that's in high school or in college that are thinking about doing it, there's another $2,500 grant opportunity for them. So go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. We just released both of those today, and they go through the end of the year. So make sure you go there and take advantage of that. So again, guys, we're talking about how does the Fed rate increase and affect you. And one of the things we talk about, I know everybody's been looking at the news and stuff like that, and I think everybody got varying levels of what the Fed rate does. I think we just pretty much, if you're not really, versed with the economy and everything, you just notice what gas high, groceries high, every damn thing high. Folks getting laid off and all kind of stuff.
Right.
And what I want to do is have a conversation with everybody, because I put out a lot of videos out, sometimes giving snippets about what's going on in the world, what's going on in the economy. But I want to discuss this because a lot of times people have questions, but for whatever reason, they just don't want to answer. So, we're going to discuss today in regards to how does the Fed rate, how does it increase and affect you? Like I said, go through everything in regards to, exactly what the Fed rate is, talk about inflation, recession, things like that. So if you notice, the Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell came out on yesterday, February 14th, to start meeting on the 13th, which was Tuesday, over 2 days to discuss the Fed rate and exactly what were they going to do with it. And if you guys didn't know, the Fed rate, the Federal Reserve, is like the governing body for monetary policy in the country, right? Pretty much, they provide the nation with safe, stable, and a flexible monetary system. They monitor payment systems. They also regulate banks. They establish monetary policy, i.e., interest rates, things
Mm-hmm.
like that. And what we look at, basically, what the interest rate is just the cost to borrow.
Okay.
What banks going to be using, and lenders or whatever, and whatever the rate being 4%, they tack on maybe another 3% on top of it, 3-4% on top of it, and that's your borrowing amount. So,
Okay.
so
Okay.
typically, if the rate then went up to 4.5, you may be sitting there looking at 5 or 6%.
Mm-hmm.
You go to get your mortgage or a home loan or something like that. So I want everybody kind of be kind of get an idea of what the Federal Reserve does.
Do they have a flat Fed rate? They do have a what they call that. I guess you'll get to that. But the rate that they won't go below. What they call that rate? Isn't it like
Well, lad, to be honest with you, I don't know if it's a ceiling on it because
not
you
up,
got
down, like they won't go to
a minimum rate
yeah,
a floor.
minimum rate.
I don't know. I mean, you got to take consideration what was at maybe 2% record lows, 3-4 years ago, and hell, you look at the '80s.
Wasn't that? You help me out. I'm just going by my old age economics course when I was in college. But wasn't that 2% tacked on to, let's say, the 3% that they like say the bank goes and if the rate's not been raised, it's gonna cost the bank 3% regardless. But if they put 1.5% on that, it's gonna cost that bank that 3% plus the 1.5.
Yeah, I think the floor is 3%.
Okay,
We're doing it.
yeah,
I'll
yeah,
find that out for sure. With the labs, that pretty much what's the minimum.
yeah.
With doing it, and God knows, I wish we can get back to that.
And to us, even though the bank paying 3%, they gonna tell us it's 0%.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
We're doing it, and the thing of it is that right now you look at now it was funny. I was just looking at a graph, which I can show it. I'm probably gonna post that on on the different social media platforms. There's a graph showing from the '80s, man, like in the Reagan era, Jimmy Carter Reagan era. It was like 18-20%.
Yeah.
Just the rate. You like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But, I mean, inflation was crazy back then, and that was one of the things. Again, with
the Carter era was definitely room. That's when gas ran out. I don't know if you're that old, but gas ran out, and lines was. You think gas was something now? It was out then.
No, I wasn't that old. I was riding in the car.
I wasn't that old too, but I remember. I was like 5 or 6. But I remember it's like 76, 70, 75, 76. But I kind of remember when it happened.
Well, that's the thing about it. I was born in 77, Lab.
Oh, yeah.
So I was just thought. I was still in my daddy's mind.
Right. Okay. I don't want me to show my age, but you get what I'm saying.
He hadn't went up my mama's house yet. My mama started cussing.
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I'm looking over at the face. He's saying something to you.
But nah, man, just in a nutshell, that's what the Federal Reserve for. They're just a governing body that keep regulate money in the economy. So again, Jerome Powell is the chairman of the Federal Reserve, and that's their job to do that. And I know people. So a lot of times you hear, depending on like say if you verse with it, y'all can hear all kind of different things. With the Federal Reserve, they print all this money, they're doing this kind of stuff. That the government's going to crash. Theoretically, that's the Federal Reserve job to regulate money in the economy.
Okay.
Depending on what happened if with over circulation, inflation, recessions, things like that. Their job is to combat, recharge, reboot, reset, fix, stabilize. That's what their job is, to kind of keep things regulated in the economy.
Okay.
2 mandates is maximum employment and also make sure that funds, maximum employment, but also make sure there's continuous financial transactions going through the economy.
Okay.
That's one of the 2 main mandates that the actual Federal Reserve has. When we look at what's been going on the past year, and one of the main talks we've been talking about 2022, from at least the first quarter forward, definitely second quarter forward, there's been a recession. And so we know by definition, a recession is what? Recession is an economic downturn over 2 quarters, right? So we
Okay.
say a period of economic decline, like so over 2 periods. And technically, we've been in a recession for most of the year. We've come in and out, kind of dwindling. Before, like we've had, the first and second was like it was decline. We kind of came out of the third quarter, but it was so minimal. It wasn't anything to sit here and just say, "Hey, we're out of it.
Right.
We're back in the clear," and we still been, you know, dealing with it. And depending on who you talk to, who you had conversation with you, people scare the hell out you in regards
Right.
to, hey, what's going on and what's happening. So when you see certain things like recession going on, just in there being a slowdown of different things going on, this has been kind of funky because not only we've been going through a recession, like what we did back in 2007, 2009, and
2008.
most real
Yeah.
2008, but we also hitting crazy inflation. And
Inflation.
that's been one of the things about it. Like you got this slowdown on one end, but you have these crazy ramp up in prices.
Mm-hmm.
And so it puts everything in a funky spot.
So, Mr. Short Dollar, I
Mm-hmm.
thought inflation and recession was the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me the difference.
Well, we just went over as far as the recession. That's an economic decline over two continuous periods. So what we mean by economic decline? You got what's called a consumer price index, or CPI. Just in case you ever see that sometimes on the news, that just means the economic spending that we have in relation from what we're actually producing as a country and what we're spending is declining, right? So you have 2 quarters, every 3 months. If it's not growing, if it gets smaller and smaller, that's what we technically, by definition, being in a recession.
Okay.
So we look at inflation. Inflation is an increase in prices and a decline of purchasing power of money.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is that you have all these prices by definition of inflation.
Mm-hmm.
You have prices skyrocket,
Mm-hmm.
but as far as the value of the dollar, that doesn't change.
Okay.
So it's just like what's happening. You got rent going from $1,000 to $1,800, but you still get $12, $13 an hour. I
So
mean, the actual value is still the same as the dollar amount. It's not going up in relation to what prices are doing.
So stuff is costing $2 to your one.
There you
Something
go.
like that.
Hell, damn near five.
Right. So if I'm making $13, I'm gonna spend probably 30. 26 or I'm trying to add it in my head. $39
But the
to my dollar.
the current inflation rate is 9%.
Right.
So you got to, I'm at 10%. Your
10%.
everything's going up.
Okay.
So you sitting there looking like, hey man, what is happening?
Right.
And depending on what side of the coin you're on, it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough, because you sitting there like groceries, gas, everything, rent, and you look at this like I would say what from the spring to the end of the summer.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it was going up. It was a fool with it.
Right.
How rent was going. Even let's just say even from maybe say even the end of that last quarter, 2021.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a fool with it.
It has.
Because it's just been adjustment after adjustment. Because already we're coming out of COVID. Oh, I about to forget, guys. Matter of fact, let me do this right quick. Lab, I'm about to say, Lab, make a point for me because I forgot to tell everybody it's not even coming up, man. Let everybody know about the call in.
Oh yeah, you can call in. Call in. Talk to Mr. Short Dollar. Number is 678-740-9894. Call in, ask a question about the topic. Any other questions about grants? We'll talk about that at the end of the show. So if you got any questions about inflation, interest rate, what does the rate do? How does it affect you? Call in and talk to us about it. That'll be fine. We good with that. And
I can't get it on Instagram.
You can't get what?
I tried to pin it. I copied the comment. I got it on TikTok for the call in number. Again, that's 678-740-9894. Again, 678-740-9894. Feel free to call in, guys. Again, we'll talk about how the Fed rate increase and affect you. Again, that's 678-740-9894. That's it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's it. Just look up that screen. Click got it for you already ready for you.
Appreciate that. Appreciate it. I don't know what's going on now. That's why I'm trying to let me put it on here. 740-9894.
Thank y'all all for tuning in.
Yeah, thanks everybody.
Let me just call out a couple of names. Misfits of Comedy, Royal Beautiful, Lee Events, Slick, Jay Perez, Jay Presidente, Bam Comedy. We met her last night. She was on the Misfits of Comedy. Real intelligent though.
Oh, young lady on now.
Yeah, she was real intelligent, like kind of not shocking, but real intelligent. Like she knew some facts that I was like,
so she's smart and she can tell jokes.
Yeah, she's smart and she can tell jokes.
That's what's happening.
That's right.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. But yeah, man. Also, I'm seeing money come back. It's amazing because they said the actual black spent $3 trillion. That's Golden 008. Don't know what you mean. Give me a little bit more context with it. The one of the things about it, we start looking at inflation, and again, when you look at that, everybody kind of look at it from their own personal lens, how it affects you. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you might be cool. You in your house, you got your mortgage or something like that. It doesn't really affect you too tough. Except when you go to the grocery store, maybe hit the pump or something like that. Gas prices and kind of, we had like a little spurt back in the summer. Things shot up. But, just say if you actually been a renter or anything like that, you seen like, wow,
home buyer.
It went crazy.
Right.
Even home prices, and everything. One part of it, looking at it like, man, if you're a homeowner, you got all this super equity that came in your house. Then you're looking to purchase a home. You had all these different things and stuff. And so it was, depending on who it is, it can affect you differently. But in all norm and stuff, it's not about, that's not really how it should be going. Because we know what economics is. It's a trickle effect in regards to a ripple effect rather, with some things here triggers another. And we have things just kind of surge, kind of like we look at, and this is not just inflation, it's kind of like hyperinflation. Things are too high. And so now you got to kind of get ahead of everything, because what we're seeing now, massive layoffs with, some of these Fortune 500 companies. You're trying to figure out what the hell is going on. You're just saying you're making money.
Right.
And then you see people out here, looking at how things even affected with the actual transportation industry and stuff like that, railroads going on strike. And then you see even with people from even the trucking industry, people just, hell, beginning of the year, that's all you see on the internet. Be a hot shot trucker. Do this, that, and that.
Right. At one point at the beginning of the year, wasn't they talking about not having enough employees?
That's the thing about it. People just doing it. Now you see what's going on. You aerial commercial, McDonald's got little robots that roll and bring your order to you and everything. I said that shit 3 years ago, man. Everybody demanding minimum wage. We got to get this. We got to get that. Man, you forcing their hand.
Right. What did you say? Technology will. What the book said? Technology will adjust.
There you go. Technology do one damn thing. Take jobs. Take jobs. And people, as long as they can start doing innovation and automation, they're going to make waves. Because they figure like, okay, if we're going to increase the pay for certain people, we can cut it down from 10 to 3 people working in the fast food. Make a little burger machine. Make a little robot come out there and serve. We don't need you. And what happens is now you're displacing the workforce of people that probably, I hate to use these terms, but we call it unskilled labor. And now you're sitting there like, shit, we got more of them available than we actually got the jobs. But what happened? You forced their hand. And that's why I think a lot of times people look at it. So that's why we want to have these kind of conversations, because we always have to understand how one thing affects another. How I had a conversation, my hot water had went out, and I was talking to the plumber that came over yesterday. He was just telling me, like, with me being disabled, vets and people in the military should get paid more money. And I always say, well, I ain't gonna disagree with you with that, but I always understand when one goes up, something else got to go down. Or if something go up, something else got to increase as well in relation to it, right? I want to pay this much here for this stuff, things in my city or in my county. Tax bill gonna go up here, or we're gonna decrease funds. It's always gonna be something. You know. And again, we can go into the, what's the damn word? The conspiracy theory.
Right.
Like, hey, they always hide money, this, that, and that. Maybe so. Right. But at the end of the day, the shit got to come from somewhere.
Right.
So wherever you want to look at it,
more money for you is less money for the roads.
Exactly.
Right.
Or unless you're gonna pay more. Right. And that's the thing about it. But a lot of times, what happens? We talk about this a lot. People don't want to get versed and understand how the economy works, because once you know how it works, you're held accountable.
Right.
I can play dumb all I want. Damn, it's recession. Like, man, what's a recession?
Right.
A recession.
Right.
Well, what the hell is a recession? Well, I don't damn know, man. Shit, you know it.
Said.
I don't know, man. That's why we gotta get Trump back in office.
Right.
Give me some more people. Yeah. That's what we need. Trump back in office. Let's get some PPP.
He was giving us all checks.
Yeah.
We was in the money when he was in office.
Exactly.
Look at us.
Exactly. Yeah. Got Biden in there. Biden got my money all messed up. Biden. Shit.
But they don't know it takes what, 2? They say it takes 2 to 3 quarters before the effects of the past, past year really affects you.
Right? Yeah. And we're gonna get into that. And that's the thing about it, because a lot of the actual things that happened, during Trump's first, I would say, year in office, well, a lot of things came, from the Obama administration. But how the economics work, it's a trickle down, a ripple effect. I'm sorry, with everything. But that's the whole point of people being knowledgeable about certain things. That's why I want to have a show tonight to kind of even talk about those particular items in regards to that. Because, like I said, right now the current inflation rate is at 9%, and again, we just said inflation just increase in prices and decline in the purchasing value of money. The target rate, just put in perspective, annual target rate for the Fed is 2%. So we 7 damn points over.
Okay.
7% over what even the damn target inflation rate is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So to let you know, they're actually going to have to be a lot more tightening up over the next year. Maybe the next year and a half.
He said that.
Yeah, over the next year and a half to get to where we want to be. So at the end of the day, you think shit rough now. It's gonna get rough.
It's only gonna get worse. And he said something about it's gonna be a lot of jobs. It's gonna be a lot of layoffs. Well, companies gonna lay off to adjust for that money that they borrow.
We'll see,
to get that product in the store.
Well, see, that's the thing about it, and we talk about this a lot. In regards to it's understand, don't ever get comfortable in life. Don't ever get comfortable in life, and if you're not really versed on how your company functions and operates. We just say, okay, I've heard that many a time, but they hope they don't lay us off. We're just gonna pray on it. I always say this about we did a video about the God in marriage and God in dating. God ain't there working either.
Right.
Shit, you see, if you see that ship sinking, you better jump your ass off.
You better know how to swim, but get a life jacket.
I told you, this one there captain ain't going down with the ship.
Right.
And everything. And that's the thing about it, man. Just kind of be very, very active in learning what's going on if you had a job, learning what's going on in that job industry, the competitors, what's going on in the economy, how things affect it. It behooves you to know. I'm just saying right now, especially with, we talk about this a lot, just how the world is flat. You got access to so much information. You have no reason whatsoever to be reactionary about anything that can happen to you, especially can affect your job, your livelihood, your money. Find out what the hell going on. If you're working in transportation, if you're working in banking, if you're working in legal, if you work any kind of production, whatever, find out how that can be affected over the next year or so. Take it upon yourself to see how the recession affects it, how inflation is affected. What this, you can Google it. How does inflation, how does the Fed rate affect production companies? How does it affect that? You can Google it and get you some kind of ballpark idea of where I need to be thinking and moving on the next year and a half.
Right.
Because I'm telling you, everybody going to be damn uncomfortable. I'm telling you, man, do you remember what it was? Maybe with the early 2000s, the dot-com years?
Oh, everybody was rich. Everybody was rich. We were rolling in it.
Happy.com.
Everybody was making
Lovey.com.
Everybody was making $1 million a day. Man. Yeah, I remember that. You
walk down Ford Industrial, get fired in the morning, get you another job at lunch. That's how easy it was. It was just full of everything. With it, that. What we got a comment?
Yeah. T Roll, which is Rika's cousin, said if it won't ever happen, because if the government forces us to fend for ourselves and live off the land ourselves, they won't make money.
Well, I don't think you'll get to Mad Max era or anything like that where people be totally out of money. But I think, people going to be very damn uncomfortable.
The cost of spending, the cost to go to the store going to be a lot higher.
Yeah.
Where you was getting 5 bags in there today for $200, you probably going to get 3.
Yeah. And what happens is, with that said, and then when you see people adjusting a lot, you probably seen more. I can just say this just from looking at the video analytics, we had a spike in videos we put out a year ago about farming grants. Because now people looking at shit. Let me grow some shit.
Right.
Let me just try to do some, do different things that people have just really those videos, man. Those 2 grants we did for farming grants 2022. it's been a spike over the past I say 45 days
Mm-hmm.
because people are looking at it like, hey man, things are getting high. The grocery store is killing me.
Mm-hmm.
Let me go buy my own chicken. Let me go, put a little garden in my backyard. How can I do this? How we get some hydroponics or something like
Right.
that. So people adjust
Right.
with doing anything. The purpose of this show, and like I always try to tell you, is to educate you. You guys know I ain't never really selling you nothing.
Right.
So at the end of the day, it's really to educate you to help you know where to look for information to find out how things are going to affect you. And that's the most important thing because, again, there's no excuse for ignorance. So when things don't actually go right for you, you can't really just say, well, the government trying to do this, government trying to do that. Whatever happens, you still got to find a way to navigate and pivot with it. Okay, so we understand we're looking at being again. This is a funky spot we're in right now. Coincidentally, in a recession, and also in a spiking inflation. So what we looking at in regards to just with the Fed meeting, and this is the crazy part about it. This when they did the rate increase on Wednesday, that's the seventh damn time they done it this year. The seventh time they had it, and this is the highest the rate has been since 2007.
Mm.
This is the highest it's been since 2007, guys.
Oh wow!
You know what I'm saying?
Seventh time.
Seventh time this year. This year.
Right.
And this the highest rate been since 2007.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So understand it, and they've said it. Shit gonna get higher. They've said it's gonna keep doing it because, like we just said, it's a ripple effect.
Mm-hmm.
So they're gonna have to keep tightening up. It's gonna be a gradual phase. Where they're looking at gathering intel to see this, that, and that, what's happening, how different decisions they made is impacting people. But it's gonna be steady going. So you're looking at that increase of 0.5%, 7 times this year, and again they've said they've expected to have these increases go through all 2023 and possibly through the first quarter 2024. So understand, guys, this is not something that's just gonna stop anytime soon. Because again, make sure you keep in mind everything's kind of gathered in stages of quarters. They looked at a lot of the data. It's kind of positive data from the impact of especially with the housing market. When they say it was enough to make him want to just how the breaks to be happy, but he's like, okay, now we see some kind of changes.
Mm-hmm.
The issue comes up is when you study economics is that sometimes things can kind of level off and be good for a little bit, and then it pop right back up. So it has to be some kind of sustained. That's why they kind of like looking over everything in quarters than over a month. They can kind of look at things on a monthly basis, which they do monitor it, but they kind of make decisions, based off quarters because again, you had those certain things where they can be steady and just have those spikes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they are planning to just keep increasing over the next year and going into 2024. There's something else I can't really see, Larry.
He says that T Rose says that they were just talking about the sales are down, but prices are up, but it won't affect people spending money. He said lies.
Well, the thought process is because it didn't. If prices went up, sales went down, and prices went up. The thought process, they're not going to change anything until sales go down. Mm-hmm. That's just it. Until they see a curve in people's action, that's what's going to cause it. That's the whole point of doing that. Because when we look at it, the reason why some of these things are set up, because what we just said from the beginning, the Fed is a regulatory agency. Their job is to monitor how the financial system is working in the United States and stuff, and to implement different things to correct and adjust the market. Okay, guys, remember this is Mr. Short Dollar. I am Deonte Burden, Mr. Short Dollar himself. Tonight's show we're talking about how does the Fed rate increase and affect you. Streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Am I forgetting anything? Okay. The main hub is the Mr. Short Dollar YouTube channel. So whatever platform you're checking us out on, make sure you go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. You can just Google it, put it in there, and check out the videos. We got over 600 videos. We got a grant playlist with over 150 grant opportunities. I'll circle back at the end of the show and talk about some of the stuff we got on the channel and some of the stuff we got coming down the pipe for you guys at the end of the show. But again, make sure, regardless, you go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. And so you start looking at it. Again, with these price with the Fed rate increasing, what are some of the immediate effects or some of the effects that come from that? Number one, we said with the rate going up, we spoke on that earlier, is a high cost to borrow, right? It's a high cost to borrow because that rate that they said that's pretty much the barometer with how mortgages are going to be set, how auto loans are going to be set, those kind of things will determine okay purchasing. Because again, if I can get a car at 5% and then go went up to 10%, how much would I be inclined to purchase the car? At some point, you're gonna damn break. It's gonna be real funky. Why? 'Cause what's coming up right now? We got to after Christmas,
New Year's
tax season.
tax season. Oh.
So what
Yeah,
happens
that's
is,
automatic, yeah.
so what happens is now they got to sit here and look at it. Because they can't. That's kind of like a false spike. Because what happened is you'll see people still purchasing stuff because they got access to money, but that's not reality. So by the time everybody went broke by May or June, tax time over. Everybody went back and all that stuff.
Right. All
Went
the
back.
cars going back.
Everybody went back to selling plates.
All charges and challenges get repoed. All the Hellcats.
that damn May and June, boy. But once that's because again that's a big spike. That first quarter, beginning of the second quarter, that's a spike in the economy because you see again people have so much access to money, but from an economic standpoint, they really can't go off that,
right?
Because it's false information.
Right.
People have access to it,
right?
So that's why again it's still going to be one of them situations where they still tightening up in regards to that. But theoretically, when you see a higher cost to borrow, people may be more inclined to actually make certain purchases. So one thing about it, the market is going to be slowing down, like Lab just said, because people, because sales are slowing down, prices are still up, sales going down. Then they get loans, but for them to get these loans to pay back and still break even, they got to do what? Trim fat. What's the easy way for a bit to trim fat? Lay people off. So you're gonna have the market gonna be slowing down, and when the market slows down, so does business. And with that said, that's when all these layoffs coming up, and you see that's what you see guys see now. All these companies are actually laying folks off. Carvana laid off 10,000, I think.
Really?
Yeah, they did off like 10% of they. That was last week, and then Amazon just laid off 10,000.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking off the top of my head. I mean, you can
they
do
laid it off during a busy season.
Yeah, hell yeah. What the hell that tell you? What the hell did that tell you? That's what I'm saying. Like, and if you do a Google search, Fortune 500 company layoff, you be damn shocked. Because they just imagine what the hell don't hit the news.
Right.
And again, they have these $1 million R&D, well, not R&D, just marketing companies that what they're looking at, they can do the research to find out, okay, look, they're looking at the economy. Because a lot of them companies forecast sales on second, third quarter of 2023 already. They already got the intel and data of what they're gonna do for Christmas this year. So they're already planning. So if they look, man, for order of us to keep things in a certain way, we got to start laying people off. Right. And that's what people got to be mindful of. Like, look, man, there's a whole lot more math that goes into it than feelings.
Right.
And sometimes you might say, okay, it might be cutthroat because most time we have with companies or even just working in certain structures, people look at it that the interaction part that they have, that frontline supervisor, operation manager, like that's the company.
Right.
But they're still at the bottom of the damn totem pole themselves.
Right. They don't know what's going on sometimes.
Exactly. They just reactionary to what they get, and they worry about keeping their damn job too, right? So that's the thing about it is, everything's slowing down, prices are going up. People got to be mindful of that. All the time you don't see really sectors that are affected by this. Typically, you're working in governmental jobs, because again, they pretty much functioning. Outside,
they get shut down.
Huh?
If their budget don't get approved, they get shut down.
Yeah, but that's
reconciliation.
Yeah, that's on the once a year, if that can even happen. Outside of that, that'll get fixed. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, anytime you're working in the private economy, it's anything like that can happen because everybody's affected by it. You're just keeping it real. So it behooves you again to make sure that you're learning about whatever industry you're working in. You do some kind of research to find out, okay, how is the rate increases affecting your job industry? Because I don't want you guys to keep getting blindsided. Again, shit, 2022. You can't have no excuses for ignorance. I didn't know. They didn't let me know, and it's a conspiracy. Oh man, listen. These things were done back a couple months ago, and they affected these things. What's going on now, and you got to be prepared for that kind of stuff. That's why God gave you a brain to sit here and read and find out, not sit here and keep wondering. Like, no, it's happening. That's what I think people really got to get out of. Educate yourself to find out. I'm only saying you got to go to damn college and get something, but a simple Google search can answer a lot of your damn questions in your life.
Right, and let you know if you need to pivot.
Exactly, right? So with that said, guys, theoretically, when we say, okay, what is the whole point when we start saying why are they, increasing the rates? Why are they increasing the rates? So we just talked about, exactly what the Federal Reserve is. We went over exactly what a recession is, went over inflation. So what we're going to talk about now is why these actual things are implemented to make changes in the economy. Guys, remember the call-in number is 678-740-9894, 678-740-9894. Call in, guys, if you got a question or something like that. I mean, we all family. Right. We all family. That's why we here. Now, y'all know once I get off this damn thing, it's $2.10 an hour. Right. Y'all know it's public information. You can go to my website. Y'all know what I charge.
Right.
Short dollar, not cheap dollar. Shit. What, 175 30 minutes, $2.10 an hour? Mm-hmm. I give you 10 minutes free, but ain't shit you ask me about none of this stuff. Gonna take 10 minutes. Right. So you got me now for free. Right. So you better gonna take advantage of it, okay? Call 678-740-9894, 678-740-9894. Please call in. So when we say, look, theoretically, so I get what the economy is, I get what a recession is, I get what inflation is. So still, why the hell they doing that? Theoretically, guys, when you see Jerome Powell, like I said, that's Federal Reserve Chairman, when he comes out and he says, this is what give you State of the Union on the actual economy and what's happening, and they say, hey, we're going to, increase rate, decrease rates. When we start looking at theoretically, it's as simple as supply and demand. I know everybody ain't did like economics in school, but when we start saying supply and demand, we're looking at supply, what we have, demand, what we want, right? Easy to understand, guys. If you got any questions about anything, please leave something in the comments. We'll fix it tonight. Trust me, I promise. I want everybody to leave here knowing about what the hell's going on. So we look at supply and demand. You look at the cost to borrow or acquire will get too high. So we start saying that we got so many as the inventory, with supply and demand. If the interest rate's going up, and that's be the cost to borrow, that means if you want to buy a house and the rate has went up from 5% up to 8%. So if it's too much for you to buy a house, because I can get a note for $800, I can't get a note $1,500 for this house. People gonna be declining to go purchase a home. So if people decline to purchase a home, that causes an inventory of homes. Right. Nobody's buying homes. Now you got these homes sitting here. So a house that was once selling for $100,000 because the rate is at 8%. Nobody's buying it, and I I got 50 houses just sitting out here, and nobody wants to buy it. I got to do what? Even though the rate is the same, I got to do what? Drop my price. Right. So now the prices are dropping. And now you got people more inclined to actually to purchase the house. Then, when the excess of demand, is more in demand, you got this support. The supply is there. The prices are going to drop. When the prices drop, that's when the economy stabilizes. Again, you got a house at $100,000. The interest rate now might be 5%. It goes to 8%. At 5%, it's $800. At 8%. Maybe $1,500, right? Excuse my math, we off. Nobody's gonna buy it at $1,500 on a 30-year fix. Nobody's gonna buy that. So all the houses are gonna sit up there. So we nobody's doing that. We're losing with the house just sitting there. Price drop. Right. Once the prices drop, that's when everything stabilizes. Okay. And that's what everything, home prices, car prices, and everything reflects. That's why the actual Fed rate increases, because they're changing it, because they know everything is. These prices are overinflated. They're not what you get in these houses for 300, 400,000. That's not the value of this house. Right. So we got to increase the rates to make people pump the brakes on buying
Mm-hmm.
because just like T said earlier, people still buying. So listen, if y'all gonna keep damn buying, we're gonna keep damn raising. At some point, you're gonna say, "What? This shit too high."
Mm-hmm.
At some point, because even though it's too high at 8, I gotta have it, right? But at some point, it's gonna get too high.
12,
yeah. And unfortunately, like I said, tax season coming, so people still got access to it because people gonna have money in their pocket, right? So theoretically, it's not really gonna see any changes, from my opinion, until summer.
To what?
Summer or fall.
Quarter?
Probably summer or fall.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Well, beginning probably third.
Okay.
So that's what third is what July through September. Am I right? Yeah, July through September.
No.
July or September.
August. You got October, November, December, 4th. So August. So you got July, August, September. Okay.
Yeah.
July, August, September. My bad.
Laugh, you do this shit for a living.
3 months is a quarter.
But no, but even when they say it, like I'm just saying, going into that third quarter count, you'll see, things just so. Again, I don't see really a change. It's going to get uncomfortable. But again, that first and second quarter, you got a lot of influx of money coming to the economy. Guys, keep in mind, I just did a tax update video a couple of days ago. Remember, the refunds going to be smaller. The refunds going to be smaller because remember, the American Rescues Act gave you you had a child tax credit was $2,000 normally, went up to $3,000. If you had a child under 5, it was $3,600. You got a lot of things. Daycare credit was up to $8,000. That too. I mean, that refund check gonna be a whole lot different. Everything going back to 2019 numbers. So just keep that in mind. I just want to kind of get that disclaimer. That refund, this coming up tax season, ain't gonna be like it was last year.
Right.
I just want people to understand that things are different. All that American Rescues Act is over and done with.
It's done.
Okay. All them credits and stuff that they were giving and stuff is gone. Everything back to the 2019 numbers. Okay. So bear that in mind. But again, with an excess of supply, a decrease in demand, prices stabilize, the economy getting better. Then they lower the cost of borrow. Then the Fed rate starts to decline with that. So theoretically, that's why they come out. You'll see the Fed chairman, they increase interest rate because again, they see that things are prices are so high, they got to get ahead of it. Remember, again, they're a regulatory body, so they're meant to adjust it. So when they see things like that, those spikes, it's their job to step in and make sure. That's why they regulate banks, things like that, to make sure certain things are going in a certain way.
Do they have a certain price that they want to get to? They already have a certain price fixed into what their rates are, right? That's why they already know that there's going to be more rate increases in 2023.
You know what, Leo? And to be honest with you, I really don't know in regards to they say, okay, this house should cost this house should cost. Where did the number go? I imagine they probably look at some kind of intel from different agencies that may say, okay, this is the cost, and this maybe look at the sale. With doing certain things, with doing it. But again, I think a lot of it based off of what we talk about, that inflation rate being at 2%. So we saying, okay, as long as they know the dollar isn't, it still has some kind of power in regards to like, look, we 10% over,
right? In
regards to the value of it, things are overpriced it. So it was what you say 9.1, we almost 10% over. We're doing it. So I guess they kind of looking at some of the listing prices to say, okay, nationally, because you're gonna have some variances from location to location, geographically, how prices be. We know the price in Georgia ain't the same as California and New York,
right.
But regionally, if they can still see, okay, now they back to typically what it costs they're set at and everything, then they can look at it, and then from that point they can make the adjustments. But again, guys, keep in mind this is done over periods of time where they've had a chance to collect data. To sit there and look at it.
That's why when they raise the rate 0.5% or 0.25%, they just testing the market to see if that's going. They don't want. I've never heard them raise it a full point.
Well, you can't go a full point because at the end of the day, a full point can do what the hell happened a couple of years ago, shut every damn thing down.
Okay.
Because you go too damn high.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody
so
did function.
It's like throwing a pebble in the ocean.
Yeah.
See if it causes a ripple effect. So they do that 0.5% throw that pebble, see what it does.
Well, I don't know if they're trying to see. I think they're still fixing, but they just got to fix it. Slow. There you go. Yeah. I don't think they testing it.
Mm-hmm.
They actually can sit there and look at it mathematically
Mm-hmm.
and say, "Shit, we here," but we have to go at this kind of incline to got to get it, and then so it start going back down. But I don't think it's they testing at all.
Okay.
I just think you think about it, if you go from here to here, I mean, you shut every damn thing down.
Right.
Everything down.
So they can't be like, well, we're gonna raise the rate 3% today.
No.
The market's already shaky.
No. It might be 0.75, might be half, and everything will going like that. But they just can't do that because it'll just impact everything, shut everything down with doing it. So just make it slowly but surely, a little uncomfortable there, and that's pretty much how they go about doing it. But you got to make sure that, again, I can't stress this enough. Do some research to see how it impacts your job, the the actual industry that you work in, how it impacts you. Because for the most part, guys, there is going to be more to come. Again, we're talking about to your point earlier. You're going to see more expected layoffs, more downsizing, more restructuring. One thing they did say that they gave information on, they said rent prices are starting to stabilize and starting to go down and stuff like that. So you'll probably see one of those first in regards to doing it. Because again, if the money ain't moving and I can't get nobody in my house, and I'm renting, right now it's like a renter's fantasy. I ask for what the hell I want to ask for.
Right.
You see people.
If I only got 2 apartments and I got 15 people want to rent it, I'm gonna charge the premium.
I mean, even just the whole, in essence, just looking at what's going on just with even with renting. Whereas you could be a little bit more flexible. Just say you had an eviction 5 years ago, but you show them steady work. Like some landlords are like, "F it, you got one eviction." No, I mean, just so much power that they have, and that's just because again the market is just tight, But again, as inventory expands, because why inventory gonna expand? Folk gonna lose jobs. Folk gonna lose jobs. Companies restructuring. You left this job and they got to go here and stuff like that. So you pay them. I done went from making $20, $30 an hour. Now this didn't change. Everything's gonna change, because I can't pay you $30 a damn hour if the rate I'm paying my loans and stuff done went from 5% to 8%. Shit can't happen.
So I needed to stay at the 5 that I've been paying. So
exactly.
I got to reduce some stuff to offset that 3% increase.
Exactly. Well, they still got a certain margin that they got to make. And the margin, when we talk about the margin, guys, just the difference from sales minus your expenses. You say it's your profit or whatever, but they still got to kind of stay at a certain, level to keep things going.
If they projected for 2023, they already projected for 2022, and this inflation probably wasn't part of that projection, and especially the rate increase wasn't part of that projection. So now they scrambling to adjust.
I think probably some people had in mind that the inflation rejection, things like the inflation, the recession, things like that. I just don't think people thought. I think people thought we would have came out of it already. And I think I always say plan for the worst and just expect, hope for the best. And if you do that, you can kind of get through a lot of stuff. But when you try to sit there and just stick your head in dirt like you're a damn ostrich, shit just, what I'm saying, you pull it back up.
Tough it up.
Yeah.
And be weak and surprised.
There you go.
What type to say?
Listen,
everybody has a plan till they get punched.
And you gotta live like that, man. You gotta live like that, man. And I know a lot of people traditionally like to put their destiny in other people's hands. That might just be the entrepreneur in me or whatever. People know me. I ain't no sit here, I don't sit here and try to push the way I feel on other people. But I will say this: when you put your destiny in other people's hands and don't try to know what's going on, you gotta take what comes with it. That's the thing about it. Like I said, one thing they push you is in the military, no excuse for ignorance. It behooves you to know. So I really want you guys to get on top of this, just to kind of
these boring radio shows. Y'all like, man, I listen to NPR every day. It teaches me so much about this stuff, about the Fed rate and all that. And I know it's a lot about it, but just knowing the day to day, it's sometimes it's boring. But I learned stuff like, oh, okay, you gotta know. You gotta know.
You have to know especially exactly how it affects you.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't got to be no financial guru,
Right.
but again, how it can affect you directly.
Mm-hmm.
You're working in the airline industry, you're working in transportation, you're working in production, you're working in manufacturing. You need to know how this shit affects you.
Right.
You do. And that's the thing about still talking about Biden. We need to get Trump. Man, I'm just telling you, dog. It's just one of them things, man. Things happen.
Right.
We can go in a way. People have different theories of why we got this way, why we have. At the end of the day, things gonna happen. Ebbs and flows, and what life is, regardless who the president is. I've never known anybody to have a president and that was just the end of the world. You just have to learn how to adjust. Just like we had these elections, you get Warnock in, you got Herschel, whoever would have came in, you still gonna have to do what?
Leave.
Pivot and adjust. That's it.
Right.
Period. It didn't matter. And that's probably another conversation. It should be more than emphasis. The local people
Right.
that we got in doing that, they got a bigger
locally
impact.
is your problem.
Yeah, they got a bigger impact on me than people in DC do. But that's a whole nother show.
Uh-huh.
So when we start thinking about it, guys, so going forward, 2023 and beyond, what should we be expecting? I will tell you guys, it's gonna be uncomfortable for a while. It's gonna be uncomfortable for a while because, like I said, the cost of borrow is gonna be increasing. Expect layoffs. Expect layoffs. Expect some maybe some layoffs, some severance packages, different things. Just expect it. Again, it's not being negative. It's just being real. Especially if you deal in production, manufacturing, warehousing, and all that kind of stuff like that. I think it's gonna be an uptick from a technological standpoint of people making what's going on, Jay Pleasant. I think it's gonna be an uptick in people getting AI, artificial intelligence, people getting in robots and stuff like that. I think it's gonna be an uptick in that because remember that robot don't gotta go to the bathroom. I ain't got no attitude. Can't get pregnant.
Ain't got no kids.
Ain't gotta go to rehab.
Right.
None of that stuff. Nothing. No kids. Nothing.
Right.
And they'll get a shoe, man. And you see that. You see that. And that's the thing about it. Like, okay, we can just, but with that said, now we got all these people that are out of jobs trying to find certain things.
They don't know how to fix them robots.
Yeah, but see, this the issue with that. And this is another show, man. We're gonna talk about this on Changing Lives coming up in regards to this. Everybody pushing for celebrities and athletes to put money in this and put money in that. Hey, man, at some point we got to sit here and say, what can I do to improve myself? What can I do to improve myself, man? And I never try to push entrepreneurship on everybody, but I do try to always push skill sets. Well, if you had a job 10, 20 years, you need to learn as much because they're going to use you. Every situation you go into in life, they're going to use you. You got to make sure you're using them.
Oh, everything.
Anything.
I said that to people. I said, oh, I'm using them. I'm trying to learn everything I can. I'm all through their computers. I'm trying to figure out every little inch of everything. You don't think I'm going to add to my resume? Oh, you best believe it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, people can do what they want to do with you. And that's what we got to make sure we try to make ourselves, I talk about this a lot of time, make yourself recession proof. Because the world, anybody, God forbid, fall dead, man, you walk out of a funeral, people in the world just going around like ain't nothing happened. And that's just life. It keep going. Life. And you just got to figure out a way. Guys, again, it's going to be uncomfortable for a while. And also, rate possibly get as high as 5.25%. And we talking about maybe come back to the end consumer. That could be 8, 9, 10%. Come on now. What the hell are you going to do? What the hell are you going to buy?
10% interest rate. Yeah.
That's some crazy shit. There, that shit.
Yeah, 10% interest rate is gonna slow some things down and get to 10%.
Shit, we be out here on them damn bicycle sales gonna go through the roof. And that's one of the things about it. And what Chief
Remo said the rate affected stocks greatly.
Yeah, because again, we start looking at because of what we just said, the cost of borrow. So these companies will sit here, borrowing and doing things from an operation standpoint. Their costs are going up. Their costs are going up. So at the end of the day, their costs going up. Profits gonna shrink till they make adjustments and stuff like that. That's why the hell everybody laying folks out. Because we always know again what's the easiest thing to do to ease the expense for a company to trim the fat with. It's employment. So that's the kind of thing people got to kind of keep in mind. Like it's not about don't ever feel so damn invaluable or whatever. But hell, you see some of these folks, they laying off corporate Managerial, it don't damn matter.
Right.
Like we got to stay afloat. We got to stay afloat. If what you doing don't add value, don't add money, they might look at,
Or
hey,
if it's duplicated.
There you go.
Well, if you a manager, and then we got a assistant manager, maybe the assistant manager can do what you do, and we can pay him what he makes and get rid of you.
Bump him up 10%.
Right.
And there you go. Shit happen all the time, man.
Right.
But guys, I really want you guys to be mindful about what's going on. I hope you enjoyed the information we talked about tonight in regards to how the Fed rate increasing affects you. So definitely be on the lookout, next year in regards to certain things going on, especially with the Fed, other additional Fed rate increasing. You see different industries making certain changes here and there, and just we'll have other videos about it. But I just want to kind of give you guys a little lesson in regards to exactly what everything is and how different things kind of affect each other. Okay. With that said, guys, I want to open the floor up. If you got any questions, anybody want to call in, anybody got any questions about anything outside about what we talked about, the floor is open. Anything. So again, the call in number 678-740-9894. Again, 678-740-9894. Feel free to call in.
Now's the time to ask about the grants.
So with that said, even with the grants, guys, again, we have probably about right now 10 grants on Mr. Short Dollar that allows to go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Different entrepreneurial grants. Some of them for women, some of them for veterans, some of them for different industries. I know today we just released again those 2 grants for startup entrepreneurs, and they're pretty much basically for people that are new in business or thinking about getting in business. There were 2 $2,500 grants. One was $2,500 for a startup. I think it maybe been in the business 1.5 2 years, or you're aspiring to be an entrepreneur.
Okay.
Pretty much you easily apply for $2,500. They want you just pretty much state if they give you the money what you'll be able to do. Pretty simple to apply for. That's there. Also, we have a young entrepreneurs grant opportunity for people in high school and college that want to start a business up, aspiring to do it. You can apply for those. So that's 2 grants that we just posted. I forgot the actual company that's sponsoring those grants that we just introduced for you guys to take advantage of. But I think in all, it's probably about maybe 7 to 10 grants that's still live through the end of this year. So you got 2 weeks to get on top of it. Most importantly, go to Mr. Short Dollar YouTube and subscribe to the channel. Kind of let you guys know again, the course just got moved to the platform. I'm going to go live with everything this weekend.
Okay.
But the biggest thing is, if you do want to get in the tax preparation industry, my course is I start your own tax business. The main thing that's needed for the tax business is what's called an EFIN number, your electronic filing number. This is the funky part about everything. I'm just going to be straight up with everybody. I'm just going to run the course through the end of the year. Is that the EFIN number needs to be acquired before the end of the year.
Okay.
So even if you apply for your EFIN number now, if you do it now, and again, it takes about 30 days for the EFIN number to get processed. With that said, they always will process it on the date of receipt. So if you go in there tomorrow, they'll process it as of tomorrow, even if they finish it 2 or 3 weeks from now. Makes sense?
Okay.
But that's the biggest thing.
Okay, you use it once it's processed.
Yeah, you use it once it's processed. Even if you process it in January, but the cutoff is December 31st to get your EFIN number in to electronically file taxes.
Okay.
In 2023.
Okay.
So I just want everybody to know that once you do that one time, you're able to do it forever.
Okay.
The EFIN number is a one-time thing, and pretty much the course. I'm not selling you on actually how to do taxes. I'm giving you guys my blueprint that has had me in business for over what it's be 21 or 22 years in the game. Give you my system, my blueprint. Marketing calendars, advertising calendars, operational maps in regards to running everything from a big brick and mortar tax business, also to run a remote tax business. Everything I got in between my ears, I put it in that course. So I want you guys to be live this weekend, and again, we just moved it over from It was teachable. We moved it to and I take the blame for that. A lady doing, but it was just at the end of the day, I had to get it moved over, and I have a lot more flexibility with Contra.
Okay.
We're doing that's just the platform that the course is on, but all that stuff is there, and I also can update it. Guys, also be on the lookout now when this tax season starts, guys. I'm dropping all these videos: how to fill out the Schedule C, how to fill out the Schedule B, the Schedule D, the Schedule A, earned income tax credit. So you have these basic questions in regards, because a lot of times lab is right. When tax season starts, your boy gone. And again, like, I'm swamped. So a lot of times what was happening was I was getting a lot of questions and requests for videos, but I didn't have time to make it.
Right.
Man, what is earned income tax credit? What is child tax credit? How you fill out a Schedule C? How you fill out Schedule B? So listen, I'm in the process of making all them videos now, so you guys have an easy reference on certain things. Okay, you want to do the taxes yourself. You got somebody that did your tax. You got questions about it, but you really want comfortable with the answer. You can go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. All those videos will be there, so you guys take advantage of it. And I got them super, super, stupid simple. Also, I think about a week ago, I made a video in regards to what was that video? Business funding 101. Pretty much, I gave a whole breakdown on different business loan products from business term loans, business lines of credit, invoice factoring, equipment loans. Explain to you in English what they are. So I just released that about a week ago. So if you're looking to get in business and you potentially may need funding, check out that video.
Okay.
And they'll pretty much explain to you again. It's probably about a 30-minute video, but they'll pretty much explain anything you need to know as far as business funding. Because I know you had no shortage of going on the internet and finding out. Go to Navy Federal Credit Union. You can get this, all that bullshit what people are pushing you to get, but they're really pushing you to stuff telling you can get this kind of money. But next thing you know, you're like, man, I done did this and did that and got this money, and you back at square one because you really didn't know what the hell you were doing. It's a one-on-one video. Like I said, all this stuff free of charge. I say you need to take advantage of it. Because once we get on that damn phone, start charging.
Right.
So check out that video. But also in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to release a video in regards to exact business loans in regards to just breaking down exactly. I go over that video. The 30-minute video is like a general rundown, but in the next one, I'll break down each product just in regards to exactly what a term loan, give you rates and examples. Same thing with a line of credit. Actually have mathematical examples so you guys can see if I get this at this rate and I pay this all that stuff coming at the beginning of the year as far as knowing those products. So if you haven't, again, go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, take advantage of all the great information that's on the YouTube channel. Okay, guys, what is it? That'll be this year. Shit, we done passed the anniversary. I think it was November.
It was November.
And we ain't talk about what about 6 years.
Yeah.
5. I can't damn remember. But we've been in the game, changing lives with maybe 7, 6, 7. We over 5 years. What were we
It's
at?
been about 5.
5 for Mr. Short Dollar?
Yeah.
Or maybe 6 or 7 for
6
for Change Your Lives.
Yeah.
And but man, listen, that's a lot of information out there for you guys to take advantage of. I'm always gonna tell you the right way to do it. I ain't gonna sit here and try to just push nothing on you. We're doing it and stuff like that. Like I said, all this information free. I want to start charging when we get on that phone.
Right.
So, if you got 600 videos on Mr. Short Dollar, it behooves you. And that's the thing about it. I always say that you just got to spend a little sweat equity, a little bit of your time to look for it.
Type them fingers. That's it.
Yeah. You right now can call in now and ask questions. But, we had it open for you guys and stuff like that. What's going on, Sonny's DIY Space? Sonny's DIY Space. How you doing? Appreciate you tuning in. But yeah, man, if you guys got any questions again, we're gonna do the last call. Give us a call in 678-740-9894. Tonight's show we talked about how does the Fed rate increasing affect you, and giving a whole breakdown of it. If you came in on the tail end of the show, if you came in on the tail end, the middle of the tail end, or whatever, go on Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. You'll see the thumbnail. How does the Fed rate increase and affect you? Check out this video. Everything we have, every show we do, even all the shorts, the regular 5, 3-minute videos, everything on that hub, Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. And I promise you, most of the small business questions, I actually got separated by playlists. If they personal finance, entrepreneurial, business, finance, regular business finance, grant playlist, all that stuff's already segregated. So listen, that's 600 videos. Most of the questions you can, have, check that out first. What's this? If you're working remotely, can you itemize? If you're working, it just depends on what structure. The question is, if you're working remotely, can you itemize? Itemize, and it has nothing to do with how you're working. Itemizing is set on determined on if when you file your taxes, everyone, number one, it has to be well, it has nothing to do if you even a contract or not. Itemizing each time you file your taxes, the federal government gives you what's called standard deduction. Well, if you whatever dollar amount that you make, they'll give you standard deduction. Be you file a single, file a married, file a joint, Everybody have standard deduction. If that standard deduction, if your itemized deductions is higher than the standard deduction, then you can itemize. So it has nothing to do if you're working remotely or not. It just depends on your actual deductions. As of 2018, 19, 2000, December 2017, President Trump, they created the Jobs and Tax Act. That was December. And what they did, they doubled the standard deductions, right? So most of the time now, to be honest with you, far less people can actually itemize now because they double the standard deductions. So with that increase, you don't really have to itemize and stuff now. So it just depends. But it just all depends on exactly what what expenses you're going to have deduction you're going to have rather in relation to your standard deduction. So yeah,
so those videos where they say, well, if you drive your car 5 miles to work, you can deduct it from your taxes and get the car for free.
Well, they got rid of a lot of job related expenses and remote expenses part of the Jobs Tax Act. A lot of them just were going with that anyway. They just got away with it. Even the moving expense, all those stopped. That's why they doubled the standard deductions.
Okay.
So again, it just it has more to do with exactly what you're going to be itemizing. You can itemize with anything. It just depends on if your itemized deductions is less than the standard deduction. It just makes sense to use the standard exactly.
Right.
So it just depends on the total amount of your deduction you're gonna have. When I do the video on the Schedule A, that'll cover all that stuff in particular. So when you have those questions, I think a lot of that be covered with Schedule A. But itemizing, a lot of times people come to me with a lot of goodwill and things like that. I don't think people understand this still ain't gonna be enough to override the standard deduction.
Just go with standard.
Exactly. And then especially if you use software and things like that, they'll give you a chance with the Q&A to input that kind of stuff in, mortgage interest, property taxes, medical expenses, things like that. If that dollar amount is not higher, the software won't kick it in anyway.
Okay.
So if you're using TurboTax, TaxAct, or TurboTax, it won't H&R Block software. It won't kick it in anyway. So they give you a chance to input it. So it really depends. And that number, like I said, that number varies depending on how you file a married, file a joint, separate, single head household and stuff. So hope that question answered. But like for working remotely has nothing to do with that. It's more so the amount of deduction that you have. Anybody else got any questions?
Nope.
Y'all sure?
They sure.
Okay.
Yep.
What's Slick asking?
She's not asking that.
Yeah.
She's just saying, hey.
Okay.
She said hey to somebody.
Okay.
Somebody to her and she just said hey to her.
I got you. That's the more eyes of mine. Well, listen, man. Y'all definitely please again go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube. Look forward to it. Also, want to give a big shout out. We're gonna have like a little. What is it gonna be? A reunion meeting with all my Misfits Radio family.
Yeah.
We're gonna have it this Sunday. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody on the different shows, partying and stuff like that. We need to bring it. What was that like? What's the dominatrix stuff on you high that day?
No, don't go there.
The whipping girl.
Don't go there.
Man, bring her. Shit, I gotta. Hey, y'all definitely need to go check out all the different channels on Misfits Radio, Misfits TV on Sundays. What's that? One to
You high yet?
Yeah, you high yet? What is that? Sundays from 1 to 5 or 1 to 2?
Yeah, 1 to 2.
1 to 2. Man, them brothers, boy. They had the little girl. She was. What was the title? Is she a dominatrix or
BDSM?
BDSM? And she was just showing her different whipping techniques, and I was just amazed.
You were amazed.
Who the hell like get their ass spanked like that? That can spike the economy. What's Slick asking?
She said they did investigate the PPP loan. They started investigating them PPP loan.
Absolutely. Listen, like I said before in the video, it behooves you if you know you did something wrong. I'm just gonna be straight up. If you know you did something wrong, get on the front end of it. Don't be sitting here hoping. Because again, I want to say something too. I'm glad that was brought up. They going after some people got $15,000, $20,000 damn dollar PPP loans. So don't get it twisted just because you didn't get no big money. Yeah. So I say this again. Get on the front end of it. Go talk to your attorney. Go speak to somebody. Don't sit there being on damn reactionary mode and you just sitting there twiddling your fingers. At least have a conversation with somebody that can give you some kind of legal.
Like seeing if you got to register with the state, seeing if you got a website, seeing if you got an address. They saying all that.
Yeah, but that's why you get ahead of it. Go get some kind of legal counsel. Pay the little money, talk to an attorney, and just see. Okay, get some kind of strategies in place just in case.
Mhm.
Just in case. Okay. Remember, we say, guys, I'm all about being proactive. I do not like being reactive with anything in life, and I want you guys to be the same way. Okay. I love you guys. We got one more show for the end of the year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, one more show and everything. And that show will probably still be the one with the goals and
We
everything
got
like
two
that.
more.
Two more. What's about for Mr. Short Dollar?
Yeah, next week we change line. We got that. Yeah, one more.
One more. Yeah, one more Miss Short Dollar and everything. So we'll be doing some little different live feeds and stuff like that. But again, my Misfits family, I look forward to seeing y'all on Sunday. And I hope we got the BDSM girl in here. And had a brother in here showing the proper way to choke a woman.
What you say?
He said, you got to use these two fingers right here. Look, see how my fingers? He had his hand like this. He said, you put your hands right here. And I mean, I was just like, what the hell? Hey, I'm at home. Because, I'm West Side. You show how, this finger, that finger, to properly get her to feel a certain way.
Crack me up with that.
I ain't never. I'm like, okay. Where the hell you learn that at? I'm using the palm. He using the finger. Got to choke her with the finger.
The proper way. Proper way to apply the pressure.
Yeah. You don't want to kill her. You just want to stun her. I'm like, okay.
But don't touch your feet.
Yeah, don't touch your feet. Hey, guys, look here. I love y'all again. I appreciate the love and support. We hit that goal. We hit 25,000. My goal was 50. And again, and matter of fact, what I'm going to do is, a matter of fact, with the goal set, I'm going to share with you guys some of my goals that I had and everything like that. Because I actually redid my goal calendar at home the other day. Didn't reach hardly any of them.
Really?
Didn't reach hardly any of them. Didn't reach hardly any of them.
This year, though.
Yeah, it was amazing. Well, a lot of it had to do with shit I wasn't doing. Then a lot of it had to do with, I didn't make the books. I didn't make, I got one quote, but you know what I'm saying? I didn't really get what I needed to do. And I think a lot of it was just still reactionary. I think right now, again, I did had an anniversary last week, December 12th was the date of my mediation. So that was, everything. I'm almost 2 years out of divorce. Shit, boy. Laugh, boy. Me and you and Slick used to be out here after them shows. She dead wrong. Slick be like, put your dumb ass now. She finna take this. I don't think so. He like, nah, she not. I don't think so. No, I think she's cool. Shit, surprise. Nah, man, everything cool. Been a great 2022 so far. Look forward to ending it on the bang, but also having an outstanding 2023. But again, from the bottom of my heart, guys, I want to tell you guys I love you. Make sure, again, if you just came in the middle or later in the show, go to Mr. Short Dollar on YouTube and check out the whole video and take advantage of all the other great information we have there. Check out all them grant opportunities again, especially the one we just released today, especially somebody that's new and thinking about aspiring to be an entrepreneur. I mean, they're getting the money away. And you can look through some of these grant videos, just be like, do people win them? Look through some of the comment sections. Sister just posted, I got my money. Sister got a $20,000 grant.
Oh, really?
$20,000 grant, man, about a month ago, man. I got to pull that up. Thank you, Mr. Short Dollar. $20,000.
Right.
$20,000 female grant. Sister got awarded in November.
Oh.
I mean, damn, I just thought about that, man. Listen, guys, take advantage. It's free money.
Right.
That's the
PPP.
Hey,
It's a grant.
There you go. There you go. Take advantage of it. But listen, take care, you guys. Be safe. Love you. Talk to you soon, okay? Hey, if I'm this is the last show we're gonna have before Christmas, so I ain't gonna see nobody before Christmas. So everybody, make sure you have a happy, Merry Christmas, okay? Love you guys. Take care. Talk to you soon. See y'all.